All right, hello everyone. I'm just going to start the webinar on time, ensure we can end as scheduled. So now I'm going to just directly share my screen and you can see the slides. I hope you see the slides now. Just always feel, okay, perfect. Let me know if you find anything strange or unusual. So yeah, thank you again, everyone, to joining the session, the I'm a member now what webinar about integrating with ORCID. So today, it's me. I'm still chair. I'm based in Taiwan, so I'm now the ORCID Engage Manager at ORCID. And together with my colleagues, Fran is our member support technical specialist colleague. So Fran, want to say hi?
Hi everyone.
Hi, Fran is in Spain, Barcelona.
Yes.
Yeah, so before we go to the real webinars presentation, a few things I want to share. So just a reminder, the webinar will be recorded. And please use the QA features in Zoom to submit questions because in this webinar setting, we don't have chat. Instead, please use the Q&A feature to submit questions, and we will take your questions by the end of our presentation. And if we couldn't answer them live, and we will send them as a follow-up. So yeah, so we are ready to go. And also want to share in today's webinar, the focus will be, or we want to deliver a high-level overall picture for our members or participants today about an overall picture of ORCID integration, why and how it worked. We won't touch too many technical details. But of course, you are welcome to use the QA to ask questions or send us an email as a follow-up if you have any specific technical questions. So since the focus is on integrations today, so I want to share with you about a bit numbers as a starting point. So there are actually more than 5,000, actually 5,600 active integrations, meaning that those systems are already connect with ORCID, and they are using the member API to add around 23 million items. That's something we want to share with you as a starting point. So today, as I shared, we hope you will learn everything you need to know in terms of starting with your integration. And there are 4 dimensions. One is why should you integrate and what exactly is an ORCID integration. 2, ORCID integration, the best practices of an ORCID integration and steps you can adopt towards a successful integration. 3, options for you if you want to integrate with ORCID. And 4, there are some case studies across different research ecosystems. So yeah, let's start from why. It's important to ask, why should you integrate as an ORCID member? But the answer is very straightforward and simple. It's actually to maximize your membership benefits and to make everyone's life easier. So only ORCID member organizations can use the ORCID member API to add items to the ORCID registry, so ORCID records, and to synchronize with the systems. So as you know, on the right-hand side, you can see a little graphic there. So ORCID works with different systems from publishers, institutional or funding systems. So those systems can connect, like if you are a member, so you can connect to the ORCID registry by using member API to make your research information interoperable. So let's clarify exactly what an integration is. I think we have a poll here, right, Ren? Do we want to launch the polls?
Yes.
So we have a little poll. Okay. So we'll give you about 10 seconds for everyone to vote. So I don't see anyone vote yet. Is it because can you vote? Okay, good. Great, people are voting. I'll give you another 30 seconds. I just hope, oh, it's not, yeah, everything goes well, perfect. So I'm waiting for another 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe. And we will share the little result for everybody's reference here. So basically the question is to check if as a member, does your organization already have integration? All right, give you last 10 seconds. All right, I'm going to stop and going to share the results. Okay, can you see the results? Yes, okay. So yeah, so it looks like today the participants, some are planning, some haven't, and some did. Great. So we have different stages. Then I hope everyone can benefit from more about this. Oh, oops. Okay, stop. All right, I'm going to keep presenting about, let's clarify exactly what the ORCID integration is. So ORCID integration. So integrations are really key for our members to derive value. So integrations connect an institutional system and system in your organizations with the ORCID registry using the ORCID API. And they will ask users authentications, meaning that researchers grant permissions, connect their IDs to your system just for once. And integrations enable data synchronization between your system and ORCID using the API. But integrations are not just simply data lookup or search in the ORCID registry. But this is something we want to share with our members about the proper kind of connotation of an integration. And implementing best practice can make your ORCID integration more useful. So we would like to work with you to not just about having integration, but more about having it and follow the best practices for you to derive values. So yeah, there are 5 kind of best practices as I share. The first is researchers register and connect their ORCID ID in your system in any research workflow, whether it's manuscript submission or funding application. And your system display those ORCID IDs. And you can use the member API to add information to ORCID records and also to read information we collect from ORCID records to pre-populate any forms in your systems and to ensure your systems are synchronized with ORCID. So whatever happens at ORCID, at your researchers' ORCID records will be reflected in your system and vice versa. So to really have a successful ORCID integrations, there are several parts. So more than just the technical part. So what are they? Yeah, they are basically can be divided into 3 parts. The first is called plan, integrate, and launch. Although it sounds a bit cliche, but it's really kind of a very important foundation for successful integration. So to start, to wrap up, it's about engage with your community throughout the whole project timeline, the integration timeline, from launch and to maximize organizational adoption. So plan, integrate, and launch. So I'm going to talk a bit more about this. So plan, like any project. So you have some plans and you do something implementation. So what we are going to do at this planning stage if you want a solid integration? So the first is to invite the right people right from the beginning to check in your organizations who are the stakeholders, where's the library, a research office, or human resource department, etc. And then to check where does ORCID fit into your existing system and workflow to identify a proper system for you to start to interact with ORCID API. And also to identify if you are already use any systems that support ORCID. We will also talk more about systems that support ORCID later on. And next, so it's going to a bit deeper. It's about to think about then what kind of information you want your integration to do, to get, to share, and to use. As shared in previous slides, you can use ORCID member API to exchange different types of research information. Then what information do you want to get from your researchers' ORCID records? And to think about what information you want to add to your researchers' ORCID records. And where will you display those IDs? It's in the in a web page or in any particular occasions, and how you are going to plan your information to be synchronized with ORCID. So these are also very reflective, important during the planning stage. So to ensure you can have a successful integration. And did I finish it? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The next is about how. So yeah, the planning part also includes that who are you going to collect ORCID IDs from? So like the slides shared, whose ORCID IDs will you are going to be collecting, whether the launch just cover researchers or even like PhD students or even faculty, and at what occasion or when you are going to ask for those ORCID IDs. Like if it's going to be something related to annual review, or it's more about certain exercise, you want to kind of launch this ORCID integration to ensure your researchers or your PhD students can have a smooth experience, and how you are going to communicate. Whether it's more about communication campaign or even from kind of organizational policy to kind of make it a part of a researcher's life, or researchers kind of a part of their working experiences in your organizations. So those are also questions for our members to think about when planning the integrations. So there are also some options for you to integrate with ORCID as shared. So let me also just start to say this. So actually there are 3 ways for our members to integrate with ORCID. The first is to use an existing certified service provider. So if you can see our webpage, we have a certified service provider webpage, meaning those systems pass ORCID's best practices. So you can easily configure them to connect with ORCID. And also there are some systems support ORCID, not certified yet, but they do support ORCID. This is the option 1. And second option is to develop a custom integration. So if you have any kind of customized system, self-developed system, that's something also can be integrated with ORCID too. And the third option, or maybe the fourth option, is called Affiliation Manager. But this feature is only exclusive for the current ORCID Consortium members, because you can, and this is a tool for you, so you can connect those affiliations from using this system. And let us stop here for a few minutes, because we are going to have another mini pool. So friend, please. Yeah, so this is another pool about to ask our members what type of integration does your organization have. So please share with us that if you know any system that your organizations use, whether it's an ORCID certified system or just a vendor system or customized integration, or whether you already use ORCID Affiliation Manager for consortium members. So again, I'm going to wait maybe 2 minutes to share everybody's results, because at this point I haven't seen anyone voting. So I'm just going to wait. Okay, thank you. So please wait, vote, and we can share the results. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit. So please, everyone, another 30 seconds for you to vote to see if you have any integration. All right, last 10 seconds. So encourage people to vote. So also, and it's anonymous, by the way. So we don't see who vote what. Just collect your information. Yeah, please don't worry. All right. Okay, good. I'm going to read the results. So we got a custom integration and also ORCID affiliation manager. Great. Okay, I'm going to move on, but it's good. So, okay, I'm going to move on. Yeah, so also just to quickly share. So yeah, option 1 is actually quite straightforward because the certified system pass ORCID's review. So it's very easy for our members to integrate with ORCID. So basically, it's more like turning on some functions in those certified system, and you can start to use connect with the member API and start doing things. And please visit our certified page for more information. And also to add, so if you encounter any questions, technical questions, please reach out to the service provider as a first point of contact because they are the one managing those systems. So if you contact us, it's like we are not able to change the system itself directly. So please let them know first. But of course, feel free to let us stay in the loop so we can provide some feedback if anything. And the second option is just also to add. So please visit our webpage as I shared. Now we certify different systems by workflow. So you can see different workflows here from manuscript submission or research information system or grant application or repository. And these are the systems that being certified now. And if you are also a service provider and you are interested in working with ORCID in this program, please also reach out to us. The second option to just briefly mention is also some vendor systems, platforms that support ORCID, and it should be simple too, although they may not meet every best practice criteria, but they either way support ORCID. So it's also meaning more or less about also configuring a system, and again, it's by different workflow. And please also contact vendor if you found anything unusual about your ORCID integration as a first contact point. And third option, so since we have participants today to say they are already integrated with ORCID via custom integration, so this is actually custom integrations also accounts for a large portion in the APAC region. And custom integration, of course, could take a bit more time and efforts because it really suits your organizational needs. But we are here to help. The several steps we want to share is that please first reach out to us. Let us know your integration plans. And feel free to apply for a sandbox testing account so you can play around and read our documentation about best practices. And we do have some minimum requirements if you want to make it deployed live. And we need to schedule a demo with our tech team. So it's my colleague, friend, or other technical support colleagues will review your integration to ensure we understand the use case and you meet everything goes well. And we will share your member API credentials so you can launch it. And we are also happy to help to promote your integration to the community. So if you check the ORCID blog post, there are already some existing kind of exemplar blog post where we work with our members to advocate your integrations. So please let us know. Again, the simplest way is to contact us and reach out to us so we know what's happening. And number 4 is about, so option 4, I should say option 4 is about consortium members. So this is also, as I shared, this is a feature exclusive now for consortium members. And basically it's a tool that helps you to kind of add different kinds of affiliation data from employment, education, qualification, etc., to be connected with ORCID. So this is a diagram. So I'm not going to explain it explicitly, but Also, we will share the slides, so don't worry. And there's an upcoming one actually about specifically for affiliation manager. So please, you can visit our event webpage and you can see this. It's in July. All right. Yeah, so I hope till now everyone here can have a clearer picture about why you need to integrate with ORCID and how you can integrate with ORCID, and what are the components for you to learn to plan and to prepare for successful integration. And from now on, I'm going to share some case studies based on different research workflow in a sense. So as you can see, yeah, it's just also want to add that the reason why we are including so many different workflow is because we also want to share that ORCID is not just only for manuscript submission, because so far that may be, of course, a very important workflow, but ORCID also applies to different parts as well. So the first is university and research institutes. Let us start from here. So university and research institutes are an important part for ORCID members. So one of the top things they are interested is to stay up to date with the research that coming from their researchers and make everybody's life easier. I think that's a very kind of, again, a cliche, but what everybody hopes or wants. And just to add, so today I'm using a current research information system, sometimes called CRIS, as an example. And this is from University of Manchester in UK. Actually, they use the vendor system Pure as the system to integrate with ORCID. And this is an example about validated employment information added from the Pure system to the ORCID's to the researcher's ORCID records. And you can see the source name. Once you've done that, when you integrate with ORCID in your system and you add information back to ORCID, the source name will be yours. So like University of Manchester here. And this increases trust because this is a piece of validated employment information added by researchers and research organizations. And again, not only about affiliations, actually, you can also add your profile links because a lot of CRIS system, they also contain a profile link page. So actually, you can do that as well, or any different local profiles page too. And this is another example, again, by CRIS system from Singapore Management University. And this is kind of validated research outputs. And you can see here, the research work type is not just about journals. I think it's a slide something, if I remember correctly. So we also encourage our members can add versatile research outputs, but more than just research journal articles or proceedings, because researchers may have generate a lot of different types of research outputs. And this should also be kind of acknowledged, and you can use this by doing so. And this is another university in Korea. So they use a repository as the repository system as a way to integrate with ORCID. And this will be the beginning to start to invite your researchers to register or connect their ORCID ID. And through the OAuth process, I'm assuming you may know, in case you don't, it's just a process to let researchers know your system is asking permissions from them, so your system can help the researchers to maintain their research ORCID records. And what the researcher did is just to click authorize once. And then this is the example again about different research outputs from Yonsei Medical Library, their repository directly. These two are about journal articles. And also eventually to synchronize those research information outputs between your repository and ORCID records. As I said, as we want to reduce everybody's time and to ensure you can track those research outputs up to date. And yeah, here is another piece I want to share. It's more about professional services. So at ORCID records, you can see different components. So there's a part about professional activities. It's also something we advocate our members can do. And this one is added by Royal Society in New Zealand about the researcher serve as a chair for council services. So if you, in your system, you have such kind of information, now other than just publications or employment, this research activities can also be added to your researchers' ORCID records. And next, from publishers, for our members, if you are publishers, one of the top things you want to do is to improve the integrity of submission, review, and discovery process, of course, with reliable author and reviewer information. And as you may already know, OJS is kind of well adopted globally. And by using OJS, ORCID certified system, you can create a consistent user experiences because you can, again, just from the beginning, to invite researchers to connect their ID with your system. And here is another example about more about not journal publications, but actually more about conference papers. So by doing so, it helps promote early career researchers and acknowledge their conference productions, because sometimes journal articles may take more time to get published during the whole process. But for conference poster stuff, that could be quicker. And by doing so, those research recognitions can be recognized more early on. And this is the example. And here we have a blog post in our blog post series. And also you can track your the actions of your platform. So like this example, this is actually a conference submission platform, if I remember correctly. So by doing this, you can add those conference posters early on to researchers' ORCID records, and you can track them at ORCID. So yeah, I think publishers or research institutes are the two important stakeholders. And from now on, I want to also talk a bit more from more higher level people, is funders or government policymakers. So funders, one of the top things on their mind is to reduce the burden of administering grants and track their impact in cost-effective way. And for government or policymakers, I think one of the top things when they inventing any policy or recommendations is to ensure they elevate the transparency and integrity of their research strategy, and of course with trustworthy data. So by these are kind of the goals, and by working or integrating with ORCID, this can help them to achieve such goals. So yeah, I'm going to share, I think this is a famous example. So I'm not sure if you come across it, but if you haven't, this is a good chance to learn. I think it's called Ciência Vitae. I hope I'm correct. Yeah, it's Portuguese. It's actually a government national related kind of CV platform, CV management platform. So it contains different types of research information, and one of them are funding. And you can see here, so as we shared, by integrating with ORCID, always to think about where as the first starting point for researchers to interact with your platform and so they can connect their ORCID IDs. And this Vitae platform, they make ORCID as a part of sign-in or login option. So researchers actually can use ORCID in a very convenient and seamless way, much like they use Google or Facebook's login to connect their ORCID IDs through the auth process, and researchers just click authorize again. So the Vitae, what the platform do is that they add funding information. Of course, funding information are very important. And the reason why they add this is to ensure those funding information transparent, visible, not just stay in their platform, but connect to the ORCID registry, so it can be further kind of flow around the research ecosystem and make it interoperable. So this is a good example I want to share with you today in terms of how funders kind of integrate with ORCID and why. And again, this is about funding the UKRI system in UK. So they, because when apply for funding, you must need reviewers to review the funding application. So to ensure the grants are granted to the most appropriate grantee. So by doing this, so UKRI wants to acknowledge their reviewers' contributions. So they recognize project reviews as a part of their reviewers funding activities. We also have a blog post here, and you can see the example is UKRI adding the peer review information about the person who reviewed the funding application here. And don't worry about any secrets will be revealed, because it's those information wouldn't be kind of reveal what they are doing in that sense. This also applies to peer review, by the way. Yeah, so just to recap, so a successful integration actually consists different parts. The first is always about planning, just to circle back what we've shared about, like, where are you going to start to involve the right people to identify the most appropriate system, and think about what you are going to do and how you are going to do it. Of course, then the real implementation comes, and along with the technical stuff, also to ensure you engage with your community, your researchers or faculty staff or whoever going to, interact with your system. So take the first step to integrate. So if you haven't integrated, or you're planning to do more, or you are going to update the system, current integration, so please check our webpage to see the ORCID certified service provider, to see if you already use this system and where there are good options for you. And you can apply for free sandbox testing as we shared. And just a reminder, please don't test in our production site. That's why we have a sandbox. So please test in sandbox. And because production are real life records. And you please always, we have documentations, especially if you are interested in custom integration. That will require more in-depth reading, because not the vendor, your tech team will be the one doing those, not the vendor. And if you're a consortium member, reach out for us to activate the affiliation manager feature for you. And so you can add more affiliation data from to your researchers' record, to your researchers' ORCID records. So there are some additional resources. It's more technical in a sense, but we will share so you can follow up with them. More about the 3-logging process or some schemas. And if you are a premium member, or if you are a consortium member, you have the access to another feature called webhooks. So this is also something, if you're a premium member or a consortium member, something may be of your interest. So basically, it's a feature that allows your system to get a notification from the ORCID side if those researchers connect to your system have any changes in their ORCID records. And yeah, there are also some general resources. Feel free to visit our use case page or ORCID on Demand webinars page, or more about to learn more what's happening using the ORCID blog post page. And we have the statistics page too. So that's the end of our presentation. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing screen and to see if you have any questions. We do receive a few questions, and if you do, please use the, as I share, use the QA functions to submit questions. So yeah, let me start from the question that we get from during the registration. So there are questions about, let me just check the questions. Give me a second. I need to read the question. So, oh, sorry. So the question is, let me just check because I make a note to myself. So yeah, so a question is about, is there a way to get a list of all the kind of ORCID support, all the systems that support ORCID? So obviously you can find more using the ORCID certified system if you want to know more about certified system. But as I shared, there are some systems that may support ORCID already, just haven't met our certification criteria. So in that case, you can use there's a very comprehensive community resources. Let me share with you in the chat. We have chat. Let me just check. Oh, maybe we'll use QA. I think we don't have chat. Oh, well, can I use chat? Let's check. Just check. Is it visible to everyone? Okay, anyway, I will share the link afterwards. So basically, the ORCID US consortium had a very informative page that lists out the current system that support ORCID, whether it's a certified system or not. And it should provide some guidance. So I know the licenses shall look into the update the system constantly, but still there could be some time legacy, but ensure this is a great community initiative, so you can find more there. And we also have another question. Let me just check. Where's the question? Okay, it's here. Yeah, okay. The other question is that interested in testing around or playing around APIs, but is not really kind of at the stage of directly using a system. So is there a way for people who are interested in kind of explore the APIs? So yes, we do have actually a QA webpage. Let me also share here. So there are several tools that enable users can try out the APIs even without system. Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, I tried before. I think Friend did. So it's just a part of what we tried. But you're welcome to try out as well. So if you don't have any system, but you are very interested in knowing how things are doing, behind the background. Okay. And the last question we get is quite so it says they are a member, so they have member integration reports, but they are wondering how often does those report data get refreshed. So let me just check. I think the report, yeah, I think we also have a QA. Let me also open it up. That I think the data in the integration reports just is daily, right? Right, I think it's daily, yeah. All right. Let me just also, yeah, we will share the links afterwards. All right, so yeah, we have another questions. Okay, we got someone, so yeah, greetings from Tokyo, Japan. So thank you for sharing this question. So what does research resources mean? That's a very good question, because I have to admit, the name is not transparent. Research resource. Let me also, yeah, so research resources basically refers to, probably Friend, you can share the link, drop in a link in the chat. I will just already explain. So research resources basically refers to those equipments, facilities like telescope or special equipments that help researchers to generate research outputs. So basically, researchers use this equipment during the research process. And there are use cases in the US now in particular. So because when researchers want to use those equipments, they are very special. It's not just like I ask, I get. It's more like you need a process to apply for the kind of access, or to ensure those to get access to use those equipments. And meanwhile, those laboratories who host those facilities also want to ensure the usage of such equipment will be credited. So that's the use cases by using ORCID. We will share some example ORCID records as a follow-up, but there are cases that those the connection between researchers and the usage of those equipments are reflected in their researchers' ORCID records. So like this laboratory will say, yeah, this researcher uses this facilities to done some research, and this kind of connection or recognition will be reflected in the researchers' ORCID records, and also to acknowledge the use of such research resources. So I hope those provide some more clarity, and we will share more information as research resources. All right, thank you for the good questions. And so far, the major use cases are more in the US. So if you know anything else, we are more than happy to check. And let me just check anything else. So we do have plenty of time. So if you do have questions, please ask. If not, then no worries. And yeah, I'm going to wait for another minute to see if anyone has any questions. And again, I think we are proud to have, a lot of documentation, probably too many anyway. So, but I hope those can give our members more kind of support, and also just let us know if you have any questions, sure. All right, I don't see any other questions coming. So I hope the webinar today is useful for you. And yeah, and we shall send out the follow-up email and recording and related materials by next week or around next week. So yeah, I'm going to stop recording